Welcome to the Fear Fiction Podcast. Fearfic is the term for short horror fiction, mostly posted on the web. It includes any and all related subgenres. Join three assholes talking basement goo slime beast, inebriated interstellar traveler Abysme, and irritable ghostly man horde Dead Palette, as they read all stories horror and internet related, paragraph by paragraph, and bullshit while they do it. From adolescent revenge fantasies to subtle postmodern narratives about real-life events and everything in between, they read it and critique. You better believe it. Kick it to the cold open, white boy.
Among Us. Have you guys seen Among Us?
No.
Yes.
DP, you really don't know what Among Us is?
I know what it is. Just do not understand the fascination with it.
Okay, so back in the day, social deduction games were all the rage. You had Town of Salem, you had different things like that. You had a million copycat games made by fuckheads. The original game was made by fuckheads. Just basically any game where you're trying to figure out who the bad person is. There was like Secret Hitler, Epic Mafia. It's all essentially based on
Epic
the Mafia
Hitler.
and Werewolf Party games.
I love how your cat mewed every time you said fuckhead, as if it's in the back going, like you.
Hey, fuckhead. How you doing, fuckhead? Yeah, that's her name. But yeah, social deduction games were popular back in the day. And a lot of streamers sort of came up doing social deduction games. Because what they would do is they'd be like, playing Town of Salem with my audience. And people would be like, that could be me up there hanging my favorite streamer, you know? But then it kind of fell off as streamers got more popular on their own. They didn't really need to engage with their audience. Now it's very rare to see, you know, streamers who have come up from that, see them ever play a game with their fans or anything. Because it's like,
Because
now
fans
it's like,
are toxic and dangerous,
Well,
and we hate all of you.
yeah, it's hard to organize and it's hard to keep control of people, you know, not saying the N-word and, you know, different things like that. But Among Us comes around and boom, social deduction back on the menu. That's why I think it's so popular with fans and everything, is because they want to play it with people. But they, you know, of course the YouTubers and streamers and stuff have a group of friends. So it's sort of like that old feeling of, you know, there's 10 people in a round, maybe I could get in. You know, I think that's basically the whole thing about it. But I really do think it became popular because people mistook them for Fall Guys, the Among Us astronauts.
I think a combination of that and COVID, it planted the seed of the idea of, a social deduction game with my friends when I'm locked up anyway. And the only times I've played it so far have been with people I know, because I've played social deduction games before with randos, and it's not fun to me personally.
Oh, it definitely isn't, because everybody's just like, vote him. He's the brown player. Ha ha ha.
Right.
Kill him. And it's like,
it's just like
one of those
there's
rounds.
no point.
Yeah.
Strategy is out the window at that point. Or there's a limited amount of strategies you can employ. So, and I think the game's cool. I know the appeal of it. Playing with friends increases the enjoyability of most games by an incredible amount. But I honestly don't give it very long before something else is going to come and completely occupy the spotlight again. I think this is a very short, lived hot streak. And I know that they canceled the sequels. They could just focus on the first game. And
that was a huge mistake, too.
Yeah, no. Like,
the first game is going to die out soon. You needed a sequel to keep people interested.
Exactly. You got to start promising stuff in the sequel. But hey, we'll see.
I feel the exact same way. I really do not see this game having any kind of staying power. Right. I think it got really lucky because of the whole Fall Guys thing and the art style being similar, and I really just don't see the appeal of that being that simple. And what I also find interesting, there is just a genuine lack of entertainment, I find, from YouTubers playing the game.
Right.
Which is weird, because that should be like the most Let's Play friendly thing imaginable. And I've been trying to find good YouTube videos of people playing the SCP Secret Lab game. Ugh. Also, just pure cancer. Yeah. No one is funny. And like, it's weird, because I go into a random game and everyone is like funny, like, I would say like 40% of the time, they're absolutely hilarious. So I'm like, why are these YouTubers unable to find interesting moments in this game when they're happening constantly?
Because what YouTubers are putting up on YouTube is not like the funny moments. It's the this won't get me demonetized moments. So they're all not funny because
I mean,
YouTube is a fucking trash pile and you can't put anything interesting up there anymore if you want to be monetized.
The first round of SCP Secret Lab I played, and I can't play it anymore because now it doesn't run. I guess they updated it past my specs or something, but the first round I ever played, I'm going around, trying to figure out what to do. There's all people around, everybody's talking, it's all chaotic. There's a bunch of people who are just trying to speed run. They're like, go in here, get here, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go there. They're just going by me, whizzing past and everything.
Right.
But right in the middle of everything, the speaker comes on overhead, the PA system, and this little kid, like 10 to 12 years old, but on the younger side, comes on the speaker and just starts going, fuck, shit, cunt, yeah, ass, fuck. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I'm in the SCP laboratory and there's literally a child reciting every curse word he knows on the PA system, That should be in the fucking SCP archives itself.
In the lore. No, well, that's what I do is I've found the optimal way to get mic access to broadcast to everyone as quick as possible. And then I just say, hey everybody, I really hope you're enjoying this game of SCP Secret Lab, but afterwards make sure that you go and download Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends.
But
and then I just do a Raid Shadow Legends ad, and no one can do anything to stop it. They are forced to listen to my Raid Shadow Legend thing that I have typed up on the other monitor.
D-Class 482 is David Pacman. But I was thinking, though, when we were talking about Among Us, and I'll just sort of maybe end it here on that stupid topic, but I was thinking Among Us, there's one person or two people in a group of 10 that might infect you. Is this, instead of social deduction, is this the first social distancing game? Is this COVID the game? Is that why it's risen to popularity? Because it literally is COVID?
Did either of you... TP, I think you did.
It's in the vents, too. It's in the air. Sorry, go ahead.
Did either of you ever, follow Game Grumps at all back in the day?
No. Personally, in person, follow them around?
Yeah.
Pick up their gum wrappers and suck on them,
Yeah.
No.
I did for a while, and then I think after 2 or 3 years I stopped, because they just stopped being funny.
Oh.
And then, later, just through random social media, by proxy, I guess, I learned that they released a video game. I was like, oh, okay, well, what type of video game is this? And it's a 2D Battle Royale Mario-style arena game.
Oh, I hate all of these words.
In which
especially Mario, he hates Italians.
Fucking Mario. And the theme is Russian bootleg game or something. I don't know. And you kill people by jumping on them, and that's how you win. And they released this last year, I think. So the timing was horrible. The concept is very confusing. And I looked at the Steam charts just to see are people playing it? And it's just fucking double digits most of the time. And then it has occasional spikes. And I'm like, what are these occasional spikes for? Are these events? And I looked into it and no, it's just they'll randomly say, hey, we're playing right now. Everyone come play with us.
Yeah.
So the 200 people who bother will show up, and then when they're not playing, it goes right back down to double digits. Because we're talking about poorly timed things or things that are flashes in the pan. Jesus Christ, you really have to know the game you're making and not just follow trends or stupid bullshit or sequels.
I bet the latency is really good on the Mario game where someone has jumped on your head and you didn't even see them, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that actually, anyway. I think that was one of the criticisms we saw on the Steam page was, everyone I'm playing with is in a different fucking continent, and this is bullshit, because there's no dedicated servers.
What were you gonna say, DP?
Well, 200 players, that's not bad. I'm sure that's about a factor, twice as many, I would say, more people playing that than they're playing Overwatch. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's got to be 200 every day, not 200 once a month.
I hear that this year's Halloween event is just going to be the actual death of the game. They're just going to have a funeral and bury it.
So, speaking of video games, Street Fighter.
Huh?
Succubus.
Oh my god, Street Fighter. Cammy's ass, you're right. That's perfect
Sorry,
segue.
Not Succubus, Succubus.
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 Street Fighter Succubus is the title of the story.
That's kind of like Bang Bus, but it's just like the off-brand version.
It's
only glory holes. Just a bus full of glory holes.
It's a bus with glory holes in the side. You just pull up to a curb, just stick your dick out.
You know, that sounds awful, and I
The
would
driver fucks with you and just drives off randomly.
Yeah.
maybe there's like some foot pedals that you just put your feet into, and it just carries you along, and you're just like boop boop, and it just drives off. There's just some hand things you grab up on top, and there's just little
It's like a train in India with people hanging off, but just hanging off of cocks, or what?
All aboard the sucker bus.
Jump on the magic sucker bus. Okay, anyway, so who wrote this?
I have
not attributed. Let's see the history.
Can we all agree that out of all the Street Fighter characters, even though she's not actually a Street Fighter character, Poison is the best out of all of them?
I mean, she's technically a Street Fighter character now. Yeah.
Yeah, character-wise.
I love Poison.
Okay, this was submitted by. Am I going? Yeah, SZ Pagan. This is Spagan.
SCP Pagan.
And that was back in 2013. So damn.
Wow. So damn. Yes, this is on the Bad Pasta Wiki,
which
so
we'll
see
the judges of.
Yeah,
so
we'll be the judges.
We have to do British accents, or?
Oi, I think this thing's terrible.
Oh, whoever wrote this story, I'd like to slit his fucking throat.
Does someone have an axe to grind?
No. I've got an axe right here. I'm gonna bury it in the skulls of all these authors writing stories on the internet. Fuck them.
Who in this age, somebody actually having an axe to grind? That's just ridiculous. What you're doing with the axe
anywhere.
First of all, I believe that you don't actually grind axes. You sharpen them. So points off from that one. Yeah.
Stuffed shirts. Anyway, the disclaimer, this creepypasta was removed from the Creepypasta Wiki after being featured in Bullshit Creepypasta Time series by Yuri of Wind. It was recovered by a foreseeing user.
I'm sorry. If you handed me a list and said, this is a bunch of bullshit creepypasta, I'd probably be very down to read that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good time.
Sounds like all we do.
Yeah.
There's no reason that this should be deleted, though.
See, here's the thing. There's bad, and then there's good, but then there's a completely separate thing that nobody fucking seems to care about or realize, which is fun.
Yeah.
A good story can be no fun. A bad story can be a lot of fun. So fuck a good story if it's no fun.
How many stories have we read where it's like, well, this was competently written, and that's all we have as far as praise? Like, that's it. That's not fun. It's fine, but how many stories have we read on these like spin-off, like the spin-off wiki, Spinpasta rather, and we're like dying from laughter because we're enjoying it so much?
There are very few times where we read something on one of these, these are bad creepypasta sites where we actually don't enjoy it. It's happened like 2 times.
Maybe that, yeah. It's sort of like going to see, was it Gus Van Sant's Psycho remake?
Oh yeah.
Is he the one that remade Psycho?
I think so, yeah.
It's like going to see the remake of Psycho where you're like, competently made, competently filmed, competently acted, follows the beats of the original movie perfectly, not entertaining. I'd rather watch some, crazy, shitty, slasher movie where the killer turns out to be someone who couldn't possibly have been the killer and it makes no sense, and, that type of thing.
It's like watching the Psycho remake versus Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
Yeah.
Which is famous for being bad, but enjoyable for reasons that are legitimate.
Anyway, so Poison, dick or no dick? What do you guys think?
They've actually discussed this. In America, she is post-op, and in Japan, she is pre-op. There are 2 different canons.
God, America is so uptight.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We'll accept your transgendered character, but she better be post-op! Why?
Like, who cares? Why does it matter?
Jesus Christ.
I would say America's less uptight than Japan, because, she's got a big old wiener, so that's got to be, really stuffed in there in Japan.
It's up in there tight. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The story Oh, God. I just need to tell you this.
Well, hurry up then.
To you, and whomever behind you, peeking over your shoulder. It happens. You know. What happened?
Poison behind you peeking over your shoulder, yeah.
What happened in slightly smaller font size than the rest of it?
Really?
You know, poison peeking over your shoulder. What's that on my shoulder?
Thump.
Thump.
Yeah.
I went to GameStop one day. Power to the player. Hey guys, welcome to GameStop. Trade in $1 million. That joke's been done a million
Welcome
times.
to GameStop. We aren't closed during COVID. Wait, now we're closed permanently. Shit.
Welcome to GameStop. Are you pre-op or post-op poison?
Welcome to
Pre-order get
Post-Stop.
poison. Oh God. Oh.
We've got the rare pre-op Funko Pop of Poison.
Pre-op Funko Pop. Oh my God.
What is up, guys? Pre-op Funko Pop here with another gaming video. It's Inception. It's a void we can stare into forever. We better stop.
That was Snake Meat's gamer channel that he regrets very much.
Pre-op Funko Pop here.
I went to GameStop one day. I saw a copy of what seemed to be Street Fighter V. This is impossible, I thought, but I grabbed it anyway. I was saucing. I censor myself so I don't look like white trash.
What?
Excited.
I was saucing excited.
What does that sentence mean? Someone please explain to me.
By the
I
way,
was sauce.
I censor myself so I don't look white trash.
Interesting.
I think it had the reverse effect.
What is saucing? I honestly don't know.
I'm saucing excited, boys. This is gonna be epic.
Okay, so from now on, let's try and get this channel monetized. No more saying fucking. We're just going to start replacing it with saucing.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Abysme is saucing every episode. He's always sauced.
Oh, you know it.
So I'm guessing that this is before Street Fighter V actually came out.
I would hope so.
Well, it was posted in 2013, yeah, so this was far away from Street Fighter V being released. When I got home, I looked at the disc. It seemed to be a PS2 disc. I began setting up the PS2 and noticed that there was no rating on the game's cover.
Ooh.
In fact, it looked like it was made with a paint program. Here's the cover. Anyway, I put the disc. Yeah.
Paint.
I like how he
put the disc in
lampshades the fact he
PS2.
used paint, but yeah, God, sorry.
Anyway, I put the disc in the PS2 and the game began. Yeah, that's some incredible box art we have over here.
It's pretty damn good. I'm liking it. Very gritty, very rough. The opening was Akuma staring into the night sky. He seemed sad. Stars began to move, glow, and flicker. If they weren't glowing before, then how'd you know they were there? Akuma became shocked, then angry.
Oh no.
Why does it keep happening?
It's almost like for anybody who's new to the podcast and doesn't want to listen back, there was a guy who wrote a book back in my younger years who thought he was like a literary genius, and I looked at his book and the first line I read, skipping through the book, was he got up from the chair and angry. So it just seems like I picked up maybe on something that a lot of writers have a problem with, is I did this and angry, or then angry, and I don't know.
And it's been infinite amounts of joy for us when it's snuck into a creepypasta.
And
I summoned the Dark Hado and angry.
Yeah.
I think he whispered Mesatsu? Misatsu?
Yeah. Misatsu!
Misatsu!
Mess of tiramisu.
But I'm not sure. He leaped towards the stars to be leapt, which were now falling towards him. The stars transformed into metal versions of Akuma with blue eyes that illuminated. Okay, so, again, I do not know a lot about Street Fighter lore, but this does not sound so insane to be outside of a video game.
Okay, so there is a version of Akuma that is like Robo Akuma,
Of
where
course
he's just
there is.
been, yeah, so he's just been beat up, and then he just has like a laser eye and like an arm with a laser on it and stuff.
It's pretty cool.
And it's a giant meme.
Is there a robotic version of Cammy with two laser ass cheeks?
Not canonically, no.
Damn.
Check Rule 34 on that. They fought Akuma, who killed them one by one in 1 to 3 hits.
No.
The mean was 2. Well, each time one died, blood would spray out where they were hit. Out of where they were hit.
Yeah.
Good lord. Blood's not an unusual thing in Street Fighter games. I know that. Akuma turned around to see Ryu and a metal Akuma. This metal Akuma held Ryu captive. Akuma freed Ryu and killed the imposter. Akuma walked away from Ryu, who was confused at this point, much like everyone else. Then Fog appeared on screen. The title showed.
This metal Akuma held captive. This metal Akuma freed Ryu and killed the imposter. But this doesn't even take place in a timeline where Among Us is a thing yet.
Very true. I think Akuma is sus. I think Metal Akuma is very
real
sus.
This story is very sus. It is. I don't like it.
It's very
timeline don't.
Oh, take this your dog sheet on your ground.
Oh, this story is sussin'.
Welcome to Bad Creepypasta. I'm a perfect impression of the hosts. What? No? But here's the thing. I think this is reading so far like somebody's basically just like fan story of the game, like a fan fiction.
Yeah.
At this point, there's nothing horror yet, so I don't know. If nothing horrific shows up, I'm going to call that this is just fan fiction, posted awry. But
well, it is based on the premise that they found this video game, a haunted video game kind of thing.
We'll see.
So it's like it sounds like fanfic couched in a Lost episode thing.
Then suddenly, Cammy started stripping on screen. No, fanfic.
But even then, like a lot of haunted cartridges are. I found this in a random sale. This was mailed to me mysteriously. I went to GameStop and picked up what appears to be bootleg Street Fighter V.
Isn't GameStop basically a glorified yard sale?
Well. A normal yard sale is outside, so it's an indoor yard sale, so you're more likely to get COVID-19.
That's true. That's true.
What is going to happen because we're just moving away from physical formats for, like, newer releases? Like, what's the fuck? How the hell is GameStop holding on at all in an age of Steam and shit?
I don't think they're profitable.
No, I don't think so either.
But
I know that a lot of them moved into that, unironically moved into like that Funko Pop-ish kind of thing where it's like, here's where you get Amiibos and Funko Pops and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no,
right.
I get those on Amazon or eBay or...
literally anywhere other than a GameStop, because walking in and dealing with GameStop is a fucking nightmare.
I think
it's mostly for children at this point and for old people who don't know what to get children.
Yeah. GameStop, by the way, is sort of like a yard sale in the way that like a kid is selling his own stuff at a yard sale. Like the parents have their stuff set up and then the kid has his own little side place. Cause I remember like as a kid when, I don't know if you guys have ever actually went to yard sales as kids or that's like a bygone thing or whatever.
No, that's still around.
Whenever there was like a kid at a yard sale, it was trouble because I would go up and I'd be like, whoa, trading cards of Marvel characters and they're all like in a book, And I'm like, how much are they? And the kid comes around to the other side and he's like a little, huckster, like with, suspenders, that he's pulling out and he's going, well, which one you interested in? And you're like, uh-oh, this is trouble. It's gonna be like $25 for a card.
Yeah.
So that's what GameStop is, where it's like a little kid going, oh yeah, this game that came out 2 years ago, yep, that's gonna be, original price. No. Anyway.
I decided to go to training mode. The playable characters were Ryu, Ken, Dan, Tapestry Dave, Sakura, Guy, Akuma,
Scrubjay,
Hugo, and a new character named Gao Saru. Are those all actual real Street Fighters?
Yes, everyone but Gao Saru.
I don't think Ken and Ryu are. I've never heard of them.
Yeah, those are the ones that sound weird.
Can you have Hugo and not Poison?
Yeah.
Huh. Why?
But, well, to be fair, I don't like playing as Poison, but I do like playing as Hugo.
Post-op or pre-op Hugo?
Yeah, that's a good question. Who has the bigger penis, Hugo or Poison?
Probably Poison.
Who has the bigger penis, Hugo or Chavez? Ryu had no bandana on his head. He had no bandana. He was post-op.
Yeah, I thought for a minute it was banana.
Ryu had no bandana on his head, and had blue gloves rather than red ones. Oh my god, this is a horror story. Ken's hair was short, and his gi was now dark red. Dan was normal, except he was seemingly depressed. I'm Dan. Nobody likes me. Okay, DP, Dan. Sounds like a shitty character. Is Dan a shitty character? Just based on the name Dan, I'm going on.
Do you know about Dan?
No, Dan sounds like a shitty character.
Dan is awesome. No, okay, so the whole premise of Dan is that he's a joke character who's like, he's just bad Ryu.
Oh, so he's shitty and he's depressed. Okay.
So he
he is super happy. He thinks that he is the best fighter in the world.
Oh, I see.
He's excellent. Like, if you pick him, and he is, like, not just canonically, like, in terms of gameplay balance, he's made to be worse than the other characters. So he's, like, if you beat somebody with Dan, you're just fucking styling on them, because he's just straight up a bad version of Ryu.
I see. Huh. By the way, points off for not having Vega, because having faceless Vega would make a lot of sense. Sakura's outfit was soaked in blood, but it went along with her demented style. Okay. Smile. Okay. Either way, same difference. Guy seemed to have been changed greatly, due to him wearing casual clothing. DP, are these funny changes, or I don't know?
What a goof.
No, this is pretty boring.
He's a goof, Guy the Goof.
He's a goof.
He's Guy only on Fridays. Akuma had no shirt, exposing a scar across his chest. Hugo was normal. He had poison on his shoulder, though. Okay. But Gao Saru was...
Oh my god!
What?
Is that poison on his shoulder?
Yeah. Her giant cock, yeah.
Yeah.
But it took me a minute. I was like, is this some Street Fighter thing I don't know? Oh, wait, no. Giant dick. But Gao Saru was more noticeable. He had a green gi soaked in blood, so a red gi, similar to Sakura's schoolgirl outfit. Wait, so he's wearing a school... Okay. He had purple long hair. Oh, okay. And gray gloves. Is Gao Saru pre or post-op?
Apparently he's post-op after whatever happened to put blood all over his gi.
God damn it.
He had blood all over his gi, centered around, his genital area.
Yep.
I chose to play as Guy. The CPU was Metal Akuma. I had fun brushing up my Street Fighter skills, then went on to arcade mode. Again, I chose Guy. First I thought Sakura. Guy was sitting down, but got up. Sakura was giggling in a creepy way. Yeah.
So she's just Samara, basically?
Yeah.
I guess.
Melina.
I love how they're just describing stuff that you totally see in, Mortal Kombat or whatever.
Yeah, I was starting to get a lot of Mortal Kombat vibes out of this.
The stage was Street Fighter Alpha's stage for Birdie. Every time Sakura leapt into the air, she let out a scream of malice. Malice! Malice!
That's the sound. Bit crush that.
Mallet! It just keeps going over and over again, just the same way that it would if, Hadouken.
Yeah, Elias, bit crush it every time we say malice, sorry. Yeah.
Bit crush and spam malice like 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
Malice! Hadouken! Oh, I put in the wrong inputs.
Damn it.
Malice! I beat her with little difficulty. Guy's victory message was, I'm sure a straitjacket will look good on you. I chuckled at this.
Oh, that guy.
I chuckled. You have to have a pretty high IQ to appreciate straitjacket jokes.
In Street Fighter?
You have to have a pretty high IQ to understand Guy and Sakura. What? Sakura, I got a straitjacket for you.
The next fight was Ryu and Ken stage from Street Fighter 2. Ryu was staring into the sky, then noticed Guy, and had some pie. He then said, I'm ready to fight. He spammed Shoryukens, but I defeated him anyways. Guy's victory message then said, you're not ready, you're only eager.
Sounds like a My Chemical Romance lyric or something.
How many women have told me that?
You're not ready, you're only eager. Eager for beaver. Then I had to fight Dan, who resided in a new desert stage. He was balled up and crying. And when he saw Guy, he said, and I'll do my perfect Dan impression, leave me be! Is that what he sounds like?
It's not way off, but I do love the idea of just Kermit the Frog Dan.
I'm Dan!
Street Fighter.
Hadouken!
Less powerful Hadouken! The fight begun. The fight begun, guys. Not began. The fight begun. but Dan was still balled up, continuing to cry. I low-kicked him, and he was now rolling around, screaming in pain.
Is it okay if I kill you?
I'm sorry, again?
Is it okay if I kill you?
Yes!
King of Suma Beach rolls up in his car, which is really weird for a Street Fighter game.
Yeah. What are you, a Street Fighter character? Why are you on the ground? Are you dead? Do you mind if I kick you?
Well, to be fair, what's his name? Oh my god, why am I blanking on his name? British boxer dude. He drives a car.
Timmy Timpkins, yeah.
Yeah, Timmy Timpkins.
The fight ended. Guy then said, let's not torture him. He's depressed enough already.
How considerate?
Okay, this is... Ken was the next opponent, and we fought on his stage from Street Fighter Alpha 2. We're just going through all the games, aren't we, fans? Yep. Remember this part of this game?
This has to
really
be building
camped.
towards something big, because
No.
even for, like, a
Guys.
haunted video game, this is very tame.
Guys, we're gonna get to the last character, which is gonna be our, still the best 1979 or whatever it was, Godzilla NES character, Solomon. Our insert bad guy who's gonna be, just totally crazy and is gonna be, like, murdering the main character and, so on and so forth. That guy, what was it, Gao Saru or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's all leading up to that, guys. Come on.
Ken was adjusting his belt. Then, with a voice like Goku's Dragon Ball Z character voice, let's get this over with. He struck first, but I countered him with a throw. That's not how that works. If you tried to throw and you just got punched, you just get punched. He fell through the floor, which broke, and the fight ended. Guy looked down the glory hole, and his victory message displayed. It said, oops.
Oops.
Huh.
What?
Okay. So the character
don't
talked
know.
like Goku, immediately got thrown in a hole, and that was it.
I'm trying to think if this is a DBZ joke, but it's not one that I can remember.
Guy looked down the hole and said, oops, all Gokus.
Careful, Derpy.
Goku down that hole.
Fuck.
Trying to get kids to Goku to the polls.
This isn't even my final form! Okay,
Is that your
Hillary.
Hillary Clinton?
Hillary Clinton,
Yes,
no.
okay, Hillary.
Oh my god.
The next fight was not on the character screen. It was the boss, so I guess it makes sense. The next fight was not on the character screen.
Oh god. Continue,
What the
continue.
And was a nude version of Armika called Succubus.
I
Still
fucking said,
incorrectly spelling succubus.
I fucking said, if the
Oh,
game
you
has
did.
Chun-Li stripping on the game, it's fucking fanfic.
Oh, no.
Okay,
A
anyway.
cutscene cued, starting with a shot of the desert, now in nighttime, with the characters I previously defeated and other Street Fighter characters trapped in gimp suits. Oh, here we go.
Gimp suits.
Oh, so this is the
They
point
were all
involved.
They were all strapped to the succubus.
God damn it.
Guy walked
That's-
up to these characters.
That's how they do it. They have a bunch of harnesses on the gimp suits.
Just tie people in. Guy walked up to these characters, a shocked expression on his face. Then Succubus appeared. Another sexy victim, I see, she said. You'll be nice to play with. Guy jumped into his fighting stance. The fight begun, and Guy was easily defeated.
This is gonna turn into a fuck story. Okay, so Armika, DP.
Yeah.
Is it hot that this character is nude?
Rainbow Mika? Yeah, she's hot.
Okay. I don't know what
She's
to say.
kind of just like a dumb, muscle-bound idiot.
If you're gonna write a story, if you're gonna write a creepypasta about Street Fighter, write characters that are like universally known. So when you say
Armika?
okay, Abysme, did you know who Armika was?
I know that she has a very revealing outfit just regularly in Street Fighter now.
So you've
Until
Googled
the
it. It's over.
SJWs changed it. No, like she's pretty popular, but
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is,
there is
like-
a mod.
Oh.
There is a mod that does have all of these characters nude.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, like, in terms of universally known, it's sort of like how people know the Joker, but not many people know the Mad Hatter from, the
Yeah.
Batman lore. So I'm thinking, Chun-Li,
Well,
Ken
that's the
Ryu,
thing.
Blanca, those are the people I know.
Why
This
isn't
is-
Blanca in this story?
Well, do you want to see Blanca in a gimp suit?
That would be rather entertaining. Yeah.
Blanca was
everybody.
shocking her nipples.
Make sure to pre-order Street Fighter 6 to get Gimp Suit Blanca Funko Pop. What I would say is that you do need to know whether your story that is involving a specific piece of media is for people who know about that media or people that don't. Who, I asked, knows about all the Street Fighter lore, but doesn't know who Goku is from Dragon Ball Z? Why would we need that explained?
That's a really weird insert.
Speaking of inserting, this is me now?
Mm.
Succubus then trapped him into a gimp suit. She cocked her head to me and said, "Won't you join us, QT?" I was scared somewhat. The game forced me back to the character select, except the only character was, pause for dramatic effect, written in the story, me! In parentheses, pausing for dramatic effect. The only character there was me. I was a chibi version of Guy in a light blue shirt and dark blue jeans, as well as black sneakers. It even had my name there.
How can you be a chibi version of someone else? That doesn't make sense.
Well, you don't understand. See, it's like, I'm like a guy. See, I'm a white guy, but I'm basically a ninja.
I'm a guy, yeah. I like the idea of Abysme walking like through Japan and going up drunkenly to someone and going, "How can you be a chibi version of someone else? Figure your life out. What the fuck?"
That's my koan. How can there be a chibi version of someone else?
Like, sir, please, that is just a little person. That's not a chibi. Get out of here, you fucking chibis. Sorry.
I don't like the term midget. I prefer the term chibi American. I selected myself and saw another cutscene. She was really excited to see me. I knew that. She jumped up and down, saying, "I'm going to enjoy and cherish this moment. I know it." And then she was like, "Yatta!" My moveset had the special attacks of Guy, except the leap into the air move was not there, as well as the spinning kick. But I did have the Shoryuken. Okay,
so
what
was that no story post? I think you might have posted it, DP, but I'm not sure. There was a no story post where it was like, "This story is about me having sex, but I guess it has to be horror, so it was a monster," or something. Like, I forget how it was phrased, but
yeah.
I'm recalling something like that. Yeah. No, I think it was, this is a mundane travel blog, but it gotta be related to horror, so there's a couple paragraphs about a monster.
So this is just fuck fiction. Go ahead.
I guess, yeah. I fought her and nearly didn't survive, but I defeated her with a super Shoryuken called Chaiden Hiro Noken.
Okay, I want to say, I want this to end with her becoming real and being subservient because he beat her. Okay, go ahead.
Succubus fell down. I had no victory message. A cutscene appeared showing the succubus melting and the other characters being freed and earning their original clothes back. Weird phrasing. Except Sakura, who was in a straitjacket. Well, at least that's consistent. And then celebrating. I turned the game off after entering my initials. I got first place. Then sat down. I wish the story just ended there. God damn it.
Do you really?
Yes.
Well, let's find out.
Then I turned the game off, and then I'm done.
Let's find out if you really would be happy at that point. Okay. I was reflecting on what happened when I heard Succubus's voice again. She said, "Don't forget your souvenir." A pair of panties flew and landed on my head, then gave me a headache. Long story short, she had me do a favor in order to stop the torture. I had to fap, I guess? Oh, and the epilogue is the exact same paragraph I just read, so.
I had to fap off my wiener to make her happy.
There's no horror element to the story. It is a haunted game, supposedly, but it's not so much a haunted game story as an erotic fan fiction.
Yeah.
Whereas, instead of being in the universe, you're playing the game. That's,
It's, it's an erotic fan fiction without any eroticism.
Yeah.
It's erotic to certain people, I guess.
Is it?
Presumably to the author.
So is that do you have that same fetish, panties that cause headache fetish?
I mean, all underwear causes me headaches just because of my weird alien physiology. But yes.
All right, then. Well, I guess we got to fap off my wiener to keep the succubus away.
So that
I hear it honking in the night. Succubus!
Abysme, have you ever been T-boned by a succubus?
I wish.
Okay, who would win in a fight, the succubus or a Zamboner?
That would be the best story to tell at the bar. Hey, where'd you get that weird scar? I got T-boned by a bang bus once. Funny story.
I was laying on the ground unconscious, and all these women were trying to give me ass to mouth. What? You mean mouth to mouth? No.
No.
Hello, fellow gamers. When you're done playing this stupid, digital-only game that doesn't give a mega corporation any money, stop by GameStop. Power to the player. Stop by GameStop for some awesome limited edition Funko Pops, like our Gaosaru Funko Pop from the upcoming Street Fighter V DLC. Gaosaru comes with deluxe succubus action and the ultimate kill switch move, where he jumps on your opponent's head like Mario from the Mario franchise by Nintendo Entertainment Company. Gaosaru comes with a limited edition Among Us skin, Fall Guys skin, and even a Funko Pop skin. It's like a playable Funko Pop. Also, pick up the Funko Pop of Gaosaru in his Funko Pop costume. It's like the Funko Pop version of Gaosaru, but in Funko Pop form. Come on in, you consumerist shill. Come on. Come on. Come on into our store. It's safe. Come on, gotta get Animal Crossing. Dude, Eternal is there for you. Limited edition.
So I was sent this, a thing that is labeled Kill Switch. I guess this is another kind of lost haunted gaming thing, I suppose.
It sounds like an alt-right podcast on YouTube.
God.
Welcome to Kill Switch. I'm the archivist. Welcome to Kill Switch.
Oh boy, I hesitate to make any jokes, but that does sound like it totally could be a real thing.
So this was written by the archivist, or is that like...
I believe so. I don't know.
We're reviewing this on the Wayback Machine, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So...
We had to go way back for this one.
I just want to find out what's going on here.
This was posted in 2007, supposedly.
Yeah, allegedly. In the spring of 1989, the Carvina Corporation released a curious game whose dissemination among American students that fall was swift and furious.
What? What?
Okay.
Wait a minute. Okay. Are we all dyslexic? What happened
No, that's correctly read by Brandon. It's just a very strange way to describe a commodity being bought and distributed to people.
Here's the thing. It says fall as in the season of fall, autumn. But when I heard that read, I was like, whose dissemination among American students that fall, like students who fall down, was swift and furious.
I didn't read it that
I was
way.
like, what?
I just slapped at Swift and Furious because it's funny.
Anyway, Swift and Furious, though its popularity was ultimately short-lived, the game was Kill Switch. Don't like those people.
I like the idea that you boot up the game, it's called Kill Switch. This bloody text comes on the screen that says Kill Switch, and it goes like some guy doing that.
Level 1, own the libs.
Level 1, and then the music comes in, the OST. Again, some guy doing it.
If I ever do a game jam submission, I'm gonna it'd have to be a comedic one. I would just sing the entire freaking score. That would be so funny.
Yeah.
People, please put down in the comments your favorite guitar riff, just as like,
yes.
Yeah. Just monotone.
Kill
Switch.
Kill On the surface, it was a variant of the mystery or horror survival game, a precursor to the Myst and Silent Hill franchises. I would not. Would you compare Myst and Silent Hill?
I would say, like, it's a variant on the mystery or horror survival, so it's like Myst or Silent Hill.
Oh, okay.
But they said
speaking.
Myst and Silent Hill, so it's like...
Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay.
Which, just to be clear, Myst is a game with mist in it, and Silent Hill is a game with fog. They're very different.
Right.
Don't confuse mist and fog, okay?
Check facts.
Lib.
The narrative showed the complexity for which Carvina was known, though the graphics were monochrome, vague gray and white shapes against a black background. Slow MIDI versions of Czech folk songs play throughout.
Okay.
That could be haunting. I could see that.
So instead of like, ba-na-na-na-na-na-na, it was like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't know how those sound, but...
Pretty much all folk sounds have the same chord progression. Players could choose between two avatars, an invisible demon named Ghast, so more of a ghost, because a ghast is a type of ghost, or a visible human woman, Porto.
Hey,
Porto.
What's up, guys? Hey, guys. Oh, Rick is here. Rick's at the party. Hey, Rick, who's that with you? Oh, it's my girlfriend, Porto.
Last name Potty.
God, no!
Yeah, I'm the heir to the Porta Potty Foundation.
There's an episode of Yellow Crystal Fantasy where one of the main characters is like trying to like go to a concert or something because her boyfriend broke up with her, and then the boyfriend shows up and it's all like the buzz because he has a new date, and it's just straight up a trash can. And they play it like the trash can's pregnant at some point. Fucking great. Play as Ghast was considerably more difficult due to his total invisibility, and players were highly liable to restart the game as Porto after the first level, in which it was impossible to gauge jumps or aim. However, Ghast was clearly the more powerful character. He had fire breath and a coal steam attack. Okay, but as it was above the skill level of most players to keep track of where a fire-breathing, poison-dispensing invisible imp was on their screens once the fire and steam had run out, Porto became more or less the default. Oh, that was a mouth.
I want to see all of the Rule 34 art. Forget Samus. I want to see all the Rule 34 art of Porto.
Well, she's very
double.
What we can tell you, double. You might be curious as to what Porto is actually going to look like. Well, she's visible.
Yeah.
So go crazy.
Right. Now, don't just draw a porta potty with tits.
Don't do
that too.
Have her busting out of a porta potty.
Yeah, there you go. Literally.
No,
both have to have tits is the point here.
I'm trying to figure out though, like they didn't really describe what kind of game it is, so I'm guessing it's like, is it a puzzle game? Is it a platformer?
Well, so your character has attacks, and they seem to be quite important. So this really doesn't feel like Myst at all, to be perfectly honest.
It's more like Doom, I guess, but
my favorite part of Myst is in the second level when you get the fire breath shotgun shells for your shotgun.
You just start burning all the fucking books. Yeah.
Gotta get through the store. Oh, look, I found a grenade.
It took me 2 hours to figure out this puzzle. Let's see what it unlocks. Oh, a fucking AR-15. Cool. So here's the thing. I think that so far this sounds basically just like somebody's design for a game, like their idea for a game design.
Yeah.
Very hipster potato right now.
Yeah. But at least it hasn't turned into any kind of weird sexual fetish shit, unlike the last one. Anyway, Porto's singular ability was seemingly random growth. She expanded and contracted in size. Throughout the game. Oh well. A Kansas engineering grad claimed to have figured out the pattern involved, but for reasons which will become obvious, his work was lost. He
definitely didn't delete it out of shame.
He definitely wasn't suffocated by an expanding ass.
You just see that on the autopsy report. Suffocated by expanding posterior.
This is Dr. Malignus performing the autopsy, and we've pumped out the victim's lungs, and it seems that they were entirely filled with BRAP.
Lethal doses of BRAP were found in the respiratory system.
He was brapped to death.
Porto awakens in the dark with wounds in her elbows, confused.
Inside the elbow, yes.
You know those, Myst and Silent Hill, known for those fucking elbow wounds.
And I really don't even understand what that means. Wounds in the elbow.
So the elbow bone joint itself is somehow diseased.
Porto awakens. Text appears above her head. I have internal bleeding in my elbows, she says.
I have an elbow hemorrhage.
I have tennis elbow.
Well, I think what happened is the Braps propelled her into a wall, and she broke her fall with her elbows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like tennis elbow, but for people who fart a bunch. Okay, Brandon.
That's like a diagnosis Trump would get. It's like tennis elbow, but for someone who farts a bunch.
Trump's head doctors ashamedly give report.
By the way, we're recording this on the 1st of October. Wouldn't it be funny if in the future at some point something happened to Trump where he went to the hospital? I don't know. I'm just predicting it right now.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Seeking a way out, she ascended through the levels of the coal mine in which it is slowly revealed she was once an employee, investigating its collapse due to the Braps, and beset on all sides by demons similar to Ghast.
She gassed the Ghasts.
This is where we're going with this. Okay.
Yeah.
As well as the dead foreman, coal golems, and demonic inspectors from the Sovitic Corporation, whose boxy bodies were clothed in red, the only color in the game. The environment, though primitive, became genuinely uncanny as play progresses.
Okay.
This is someone's game document.
But someone said, they said it was monochromatic in the beginning.
I know, but
the only
they're
color
saying
is
this is
red.
this is the only thing. There was no bosses in any real sense. Porto must simply move physically through tunnels to reach subsequent levels, as her size varied wildly through interlevel spaces.
Some doorways were too small to pass through with her gigantic flapping ass. This is, okay, Silent Hill. Coal fires, coal mines. I saw the Silent Hill movie.
This feels more Silent Hill of waking up in weird...
God damn you.
Fucking
You're
place.
doing this just to piss me off.
Were the games they made they didn't follow the movies? The games they made based on the movie?
No, they did not.
Okay.
Sadly.
Vague gray and white shapes, monochromatic against a black background. Red, the only color in the game. The story that emerges through Porto's discovery of magnetic tapes, files, mutilated factory workers who were once her friends before the BRAP, and ciphering an impressively complex...
The Brappening, yes! We have
deciphering an impressively complex code inscribed in a series of iron axes players must collect.
What?
This writing is just run-on sentences galore. This portion, we're in parentheses now of this run-on sentence. This portion of the game was almost laughably complex and defeated many players.
I'm sorry, you misread that. This portion of the story is almost laughably complex.
And defeated many players until Porto881 posted the cipher to a Columbia BBS, big black
Succubus.
Succubus. Attempts to contact this player have been unsuccessful, and the username is no longer in use on any known service. End parentheses. So let me go back to the beginning of the fucking sentence. Inscribed in a series of iron axes players must collect is that the foreman, under pressure to increase coal production, began to falsify reports of malfunctions and worker malfeasance in order to excuse low output, which incited a Sovitic inspection. Officials were dispatched, one for each miner, and an extraordinary story of torture unfolds with fuzzy and indistinct graphics of red-coated men standing over workers, inserting small knives into their joints wherever production slowed. Well, that's probably where the elbow and wound came from.
She's just got those slow elbows. Her elbow production was at an all-time low.
Next parenthetical. Admittedly, this is not a very subtle critique of Soviet-era industrial tactics. Don't tell us what we should infer, dude. And as the town of Karvina itself was devastated by the departure of the coal industry, more than one thesis has interpreted Killswitch as a political screed. This is if it were not for our weird tangential commentary, I would probably stop reading at this point, personally.
Yeah, because
Like,
I'm very frustrated with this because it's like, this really does just sound like a person's game design document.
Based on the Silent Hill movie, I will repeat.
Based on, yeah. And like the whole thing about like, man, critiquing it from this perspective as it being a political screed and everything, it's just like,
We know.
yeah, we know. And it's just like, no, but like they figured it out. And it's like, yeah.
Well, and that's like, you're writing it. You don't get clever points for revealing your own writing, and you don't get points for inventing Porto881, who, was the forum troll who managed to crack, like, who cares? Why do we need this?
Is there any sort of meaning we could glean from the username? Does 88 mean anything? I don't think it does. Nothing I know of.
No, not to my knowledge, no. Definitely doesn't, don't alphanumeric that, because that wouldn't lead to anywhere.
No. Alright, so, this is me
Your
now,
turn.
of course.
Yeah.
After solving the axe code, Porto finds and assembles a tape recorder on which I wouldn't even play this game. like, I'd be bored playing this game.
Dude, I could totally see you spending approximately 5.5 minutes on Tormental for this.
Yeah,
just going, what the fuck is this?
I did not get through the tutorial of Undertale. I was like, I got to a portion where I was like, fuck, no more, goodbye. Boring. After solving the axe code, Porto finds and assembles a tape recorder on which a male voice tells her that the fires of the earth had risen up in their defense and flowed into the hearts of the decrepit pre-revolution equipment that they used and wakened them to avenge the workers. Does that sentence mean anything? I don't know. It is generally assumed that the fires of the earth are demons like Ghast, coal fumes, and gassy bodies inhabiting the old machines. The machines themselves are so quote-unquote big that the graphics elect to only show 2 or 3 gear teeth or a conveyor belt rather than the entire apparatus. This is a design document.
Yeah, this is someone's fucking video essay script for YouTube.
And if this was posted as such, I'd have no problem with that. I'd be like, oh, someone's design document. I will choose not to read it, but good for them. Mm-hmm. The machines drove the inspectors mad, and they disappeared into caverns with their knives, only to emerge to plague Porto, of course.
Spoilers.
Yeah. The workers were often crushed and mangled in the onslaught of machines, who were neither graceful nor discriminating, as machines usually are not. Porto herself was knocked into a deep chasm by a grief-stricken engine. Oh.
In her butt?
The idea of a grief-stricken engine, I'm sorry. And her fluctuating size, if it is real and not imagined, is implied to be the result of poisonous fumes inhaled there. So making out with poison. Okay.
Poisonous fumes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She wrapped herself to death in that one. Grief-stricken engine makes sense at Warhammer 40k. It does not make sense here.
Fluctuating size. I think they meant to say flatulent size.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe she's filling up with air and farting, but they didn't put a sound effect in, so they're like, why is her size changing?
It ends up just being the Bulk and Skull song from Power Rangers. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. She just keeps getting bigger and skinnier.
Yes. Hey, it's 5 Porto.
Fat Albert, what are you playing today?
I'm playing Kill Switch. I'm listening to the Kill Switch podcast with the Archivist. Did you know Donald Trump is under assault from the lamestream media? Hey. It's fake news. Oh no, Albert is a black Republican.
Tapestry Dave has to come and talk sense into him.
Oh God, de-radicalizing Tapestry Dave. Mr. Trump, would you go as far as to denounce the Kill Switch podcast and this archivist individual?
I would say to the archivist and Kill Switch, I would say, stand by, stand at the ready, stand there with your gun pointed at someone, shoot their head off.
I know you have a lot of episodes queued up. Just hold on before publishing. Give me a month.
Listen, Porto, I'm gonna need you to stand by, ready, loaded, ready to fart.
Listen, I played Porto. It's a great game. It's the best game out there on the market right now. I beat it all myself.
Listen, Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe as I call him, one of the biggest failures in political history, and Kamala Harris, her braps, stank up the Capitol.
Every time Congress is in session, it's horrible. I can smell it from the White House.
No, I don't wear a mask, but I wear a mask around her. I call it Stinky Kamala.
She's Stinky Hillary's protege. We all know it.
Much more young, virile than Hillary. much more virulent farts.
Pretty sure she has a shiny Charizard already.
Her arms are spaghetti. She has a shiny Charizard already. Okay, we're just avoiding reading the story.
I know. It's, whose turn is it? It's DP's turn.
The following is the most cryptic, intuitive part of the game.
Oh.
It's just so deep.
God damn it.
You have to have a pretty high IQ to understand Kill Switch.
There is no logical reason to proceed in the correct way. And again, it was Porto 881 who came to the rescue of the fledgling Kill Switch community.
What?
Is there another story that does this? I feel like I've heard it somewhere.
Hipster Potato.
No.
Hipster Potato.
The idea of a video game thing where it's like this mysterious user hacked the game or found the data or discovered the process.
Polybius kind of ends this way. Like, not the game itself, but the lore around the game kind of does this.
Wait a minute. The 88 stands for Hail Hipsters, and the name is Portato.
Oh, it's a translation
88.
error. Yeah.
Hipster Potato.
In the chamber behind the tape recorder is a great furnace.
It's a great furnace. It's the best thing in Kill Switch.
We're gonna build a furnace. We're gonna make... No, never mind.
No. Jesus Christ.
Mr. Trump, stop taking the dexamethasone or whatever the fuck it is.
I've got the great furnace is almost ready. The Democrats don't know about it. I'm going to unleash it on America if I don't win the election.
All I'm gonna say is I know Biden likes trains.
Jesus Christ.
Is that feasible, though? To just build a giant furnace across the southern border?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Across the Bible Belt. And you just, funnel everyone in.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Wow.
This got dark.
This got
really dark.
It's
really
not dark if people don't know what we're talking about.
It's not our fault. It's fucking Kill Switch's fault. The story is boring.
Listen, we didn't name the user on the forum an incredibly inappropriate username. Come on now.
There is no furnace where coal was once rendered into coke. What?
I think that is a correct term.
Yeah, haven't you ever heard of Coca-Cola? That's where it comes from.
Oh. They used to put coal ash into everything and every bottle of Coke.
Yep.
There was no clues as to what she intended to do in this room. Players attempted nearly everything from immolating herself to continue the process coal as if the machines had never risen up. Porto 881 hit upon the solution. The final solution to end the game. And posted it to the Columbia boards. If Porto ingests the raw coke up her nose, she will find her body under control and can go on to fight her way out of the final levels of the mine, which are impassable in her giant state.
Okay.
In the great state of Michigan, nothing is impossible.
In the great giant state, the state's so big, America's just so big.
The furnace is going to be even bigger. Strike that. Don't talk about the furnace.
The giant moving furnace going to eat everything across the land.
Yeah.
Take up all the crops, sow them down, make raw coke out of them.
Basically, I'm building a furnibus.
Furnibus.
Oh no. I'm a big fan of the sucker bus. I love the business model.
I used to take Ivanka on it all the time. Well, whatever.
Yeah, no.
Succubus, just stand by, stand at the ready. The tape contained this extraordinary story. However, as she crawls through the final tunnels to emerge above ground, the screen goes suddenly white.
Okay, so coke is a term for a byproduct from cooking certain things like coal. It is an actual industry term, and I figured it was, and that makes a lot more sense. It's just kind of...
Guys,
like, that's the thing you do want to explain in your story, because people won't just know that.
this story made us learn coal terms, coal terminology.
Yeah.
I don't want to learn coal terminology.
Refinery terminology.
I would say that I would prefer to learn about dust. Remember when we learned about the different kinds of sawdust out there and dust?
Oh, good times. Good times.
Welcome to the Killstream podcast. We have our guest here and coal terminology.
Welcome to the Killjoy fucking podcast. Sorry, I'm looking at the bottom here, and it says archive group pantry, lock words, encrypted dongle. And I just kind of like that term, encrypted dongle.
By the way, this isn't the Killjoy podcast. We left the bad creepypasta wiki.
Sick burn. Kill switch abide, and I know some of our fans like bad creepypasta. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's a meme.
We don't have
it's
to.
a meme.
You can.
Yeah.
It is a meme. Kill switch by design deletes itself upon player completion of the game. It is not recoverable by any means. All trace of it is removed from the user's computer.
So just like the player's dad, it deletes itself from your life upon completion.
The game cannot be copied. For all intents and purposes, it exists only for those playing it and then ceases to be entirely. One cannot replay it. Unlocking further secrets or narrative pathways, one cannot allow another to play it. And perhaps most importantly, it is impossible to experience the game all the way to the end as both Porto and Gast. Okay? Then what's the point of all this? Is that just to be spooky?
What's the point, though? I'm aghast at the story. Predictably, player outcry was enormous. So was reader outcry. Several routes to solve the problem were pursued with no real efficacy. Okay, so I want to say that it's not that the story is terrible, it's just like, reading it is sort of like, what? You know, like,
it's
why?
like reading nutritional information on the back of a box of cereal.
Yeah.
Like, work went into this, and someone, you know, I don't knock it for, like, this is a game you want to make or whatever, but, and this doesn't, like, not everything has to be a strict narrative in format, but reading this and how it's written is so incredibly dry that it's difficult to keep attention.
It is just as Peter Griffin explained the Godfather movies.
Yeah.
It insists upon itself.
Yeah.
Alright, no real efficacy, blah blah blah. The first and most common was to simply buy more copies of the game. There's the genius of it. But
Brilliant.
Carvina Corp released only 5,000 copies and refused to press further editions. So it's a physical game, but it deletes itself from your computer and somehow from the disk it's on?
A game that was in the opening sentences of this story, whose dissemination among American students that fall was swift and furious.
And it says also here, and it was free on Steam. Huh.
Free on Steam, though its popularity was ultimately short-lived. This is confusing itself. Like, by its own premise, it deletes itself, then how the fuck would people, like, be able to... whatever. Fuck it. I don't care.
Is it on the CD, or is it on, cause...
It has to be.
Oh wait, it's 1989, so that would be floppy disks. Yeah.
Floppy disk.
The following is an excerpt from their May 1990 press release.
Killswitch was designed to be a unique playing experience. Like reality, it is unrepeatable, unretrievable, and illogical.
So it's
One might even say it's ineffable. Death is final. Death is complete. The fate of Porto and her beloved Gast are unknowable. As I slowly descend into being goofy as our own. It is the desire of Carvina Corporation that it be so, and we ask our customers to respect that desire. Rest assured, Carvina will continue to provide the highest quality of games to the West, and that the Killswitch is merely among many of our workers.
Maxie, I'm trying to play this weird game called Killswitch. I keep losing and it deletes itself, and I had to go out and buy at least 17 other copies. Help.
Oh man, I could see, you know how they have like the modern Disney cartoons on YouTube?
Yeah.
I could see one where Goofy is trying to get into Max's life, and so he picks up video gaming, and every time he loses, he goes out and buys another copy. So, oh no, my character died. I have to get another copy.
Game over. Oh no! And like ejects the CD and throws it in the trash.
He just has a big stack of Overwatch on physical discs. Dad, you're not dying. You can play again. Your team is really mad at you.
You spent all of our rent money on Overwatch.
Look at Tracer's ass. Anyway.
It's
Dad, she's a
normal.
lesbian.
A what?
She's aloof.
Lou? Oh, boy.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is this me or?
No, it's me now.
Oh, thank God.
This did not have the intended effect. The word beloved piqued the interest of committed, even obsessive players, as gas is not present in any portion of Porto's narrative. A rush to find the remaining copies of the game ensued with the intent of playing as Gast and discovering the meaning of Carvina's cryptic word. The most popular theory, game theory if you will, was that Gast would at some point become the fumes inhaled by Porto, changing her size.
Fetish.
Vor,
It's
this
nose
fucking
vor.
vor, and beginning her adventure. Some thought this was wishful thinking. Others thought it was eroticism. That, if only Gast's early levels were passable, one would somehow be able to play as both simultaneously. However, by this time, no further copies appeared to be available in retail outlets. Players who had not yet completed the game attempted Gast levels frequently, but the difficulty of actually playing this enigmatic avatar persisted, and no player has ever claimed to have finished the game as Gast. One by one, the lore of Porto's lost, unearthly world drew them back to her, and one by one they were compelled towards the finality of the vast, white screen.
To find any copy usable today is an almost unfathomably rare occurrence.
They all blow up after 3 years.
Yeah. A still shrink-wrapped copy was sold at auction in 2005 for $733,000. No, it wasn't.
Bullshit.
To Yamamoto Ryuichi of Tokyo. Tokyo? Anyway. It is entirely possible.
Did you really not know, or were you fucking around?
I'm fucking around. I'm always fucking around.
Max, if you gotta go find Ryuichi at Tokyo, only he knows how to beat the game.
He got the last copy for 7,832 yen.
Maxie, I'm really getting into this thing called Hinte. Anyway. It is entirely possible that Yamamoto's is the last remaining copy of the game. Knowing this, Yakamoto.
He turned into Yakamoto? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, pre-op Yamamoto, don't dead name him. Post-op Yakamoto had intended to open his play to all enthusiasts, filming and uploading his progress. He wanted to be the first Let's Player. Oh. However, to date, could you imagine the first Let's Play? It's like, let's watch the first Let's Play ever filmed. What's this game? Never mind, it's boring.
Wow. Abject failure.
This is just an alternate timeline where Let's Playing never took off because of this game.
Hi, everybody. My name is Markiplier. Today we're playing Brap Simulator. Chica, put down that ethnic person and come over here. My dog is racist. However, to date, the only film which has surfaced is a 1 minute and 40-second clip of a haggard Yamamoto, back to Yamamoto, at his computer, the avatar choice screen visible over his right shoulder. Yamamoto is crying.
You want to know what else is visible over Yamamoto's right shoulder?
A gigantic Fudacock.
Yeah.
No, what is it? What were you going to say, really?
Comments are
gigantic Fudacock. Yeah. Well, that's that. I will
Kill
say
switch.
that this story had a lot of cool, interesting ideas in it. Like if they were just going to be like, hey, this is a game that deletes itself, that's not a terrible, unnovel idea. I think that there's something to that. I think that the aesthetic being described is kind of cool.
You know,
There's a cool atmosphere to the story.
yeah.
I just really don't like the whole but the game, here's all of these different mechanics, and it just gets really up its own ass of just but I wish this was an actual game.
Yeah, if I had to read this as a description of a game, it needs to spend more time just talking about quirks of the game and not so much the meta-ness of being a political screed and people being obsessed with it, blah, blah, blah. I would rather, like, this actually sounds like a game that Mandalore Gaming would, like, dig up and review randomly.
Yeah.
And hearing his take on it would be infinitely more enjoyable. Which is why I think all of us feel like this just sounds like a design documentary that is meant to be read, like recorded and with visual accompaniment, and not just us reading through it because it's just so incredibly dry.
Now, here's a question for you. When was the SCP Foundation created?
I don't know.
Around this time, I believe 2007.
Okay, because if you click the link at the bottom that says Carvina Corporation, like in the tags or whatever, brings up a nice little page for you with a bunch of redacted information.
Oh no!
It looks pretty
Like a
much exactly
rejected
like an SCP article.
That didn't make it past snuff or whatever.
Well, either that or maybe this came first. I don't know. I'd have to look back and see, but
I would prefer the redacted version because that would just mean there's less text to read.
that's true. But then you gotta say, every time you gotta stop and say, and then there's redacted information here, or redacted, or, you know, which does get tiresome on its own.
What the fuck? I have heard that it was invented by the members of a covenant in a distant colony someplace in my imagination, full of wide leafy trees and exotic fruit and hurricanes without eyes.
Of course.
Yeah.
As that is the famous monologue delivered by Poison when she wins in Street Fighter.
Well, tune in next week, gamers, for something else. I don't know.
You know, that one wooden quote by Poison: roses are red, poison is purple. Take off your shirt, here comes a purple nurple.
This has been the Fear Fiction Podcast. Your hosts are Abysme, Dead Palette, and Slime Beast. Music by Abysme. Art by C.F. Comer. Voiceover by Atticus Jackson. Edited by Elias the Intern. Subscribe to Fearfic on YouTube to stay up to date on new episodes.
Come in. Tonight is night unlike any other. Please, take warm vodka glass in hand and drink while I tell story. Tonight is night you hear tale of terrible situation. The tale of Sega Squid of Suicide. State Animation Studio makes show for kids. Original show. Underwater tech bread. About yellow spongy breadman and his Soviet star friend Patricianov. Tech bread work at cabbage pierogi food store with unhappy squid. Squid named Squidinov. Is not happy with generous state-given job. Not grateful for cabbage pierogi rations and free underwater apartment house room. Anyway, one day, RT journalist goes to studio to report on new cartoon episode for children. While reporting on glorious studio desks and computers for TV making, odd thing happened to showing. Showing make many errors. In middle of scene with Squidinov shooting himself with reliable Sega 12-gauge shotgun to tell lesson of capitalist pig squid. Photos criticizing freely elected President Putin ran. Photos with subject too terrible to repeat. Better off not know you, so won't tell. But so terrible. Nice kid show about hero attack bread laughing at evil Squidinov for treason ruined. Sad story. RT journalist reported story to FSB. FSB clean out studio with many bullets. Couldn't find American ally spy, so show must be cancelled. New animators make show about dogs patrolling for spies. Federal Security Bureau approve. Kids love. Studio only has minor bullet holes.
It's that one where it's an lost episode of Tom and Jerry, but it's Jerry Seinfeld who's really tiny and running in mouse holes.
It's a creepypasta about nothing.
That's what we just read.
Slenderman stalked my little ass.
Oh, is that a story you're writing, DP? This is the plug. Go ahead.
I never stopped recording, so yes, we are recording.
Slenderman stalked my little ass. He's just looking at my tight little pooper, and he's just like...
I can expand that and brap all day. I don't know why Slenderman sounds like
always
this.
rapping, no asshole. That's what his symbol is. The operator symbol. It's no asshole. It's a circle with lines through it.
It has no ass. It has no ass.
What? YouTube.com/creepypasta. Okay, anyway.
Yeah. It's a BAP, Brap Ass Pooter.
You know what, Sony, if you're listening, and I know you do, just, your Slender Man movie failed horribly. It was total fuck up. Do another pass, make it just a comedic, ass-oriented Slender Man story, and all will be forgiven.
And just have Wet Ass Pussy be the theme for the movie.
Yeah, but by Ben Shapiro.
In this little gas station town, Slender Man stalking.
The one he's stalking is Ben Shapiro.
Round here, we sell a different kind of gas.
So I did write a story called Slender Man Stalks My Little Gas Station Pooper, and Bisme read it. And it's a story about a young man finding himself out in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I made a custom song for that too that has not been heard anywhere else, so go check that out.
Yeah.
I think it's, didn't you name that song Bad Vibes and Butt Stuff?
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, everybody who's subscribed to the Fear Fiction podcast, go subscribe to youtube.com/creepypasta.
Immediately.
Yes, or else.
Remember when Brandon wrote stories?
Oh my god.
No one's ever really, Brandon.
No one's ever really Brap.